how gratitude can transform your life. In this video, I'm going to be sharing why it's important to have gratitude, how it transformed my life, and how you can use it in the process of letting go and in the process of manifesting the new. My name is Chantal and I empower women to step into their highest potential related to self-love, dating and relating, finding your life purpose and living the dream life. So in this video I'm going to be sharing how you can transform your life by having gratitude, and first of all why it's important to have gratitude. Well, gratitude is really to have the feeling of being thankful for something. And the importance of this is that when we live our lives, often we forget how much beauty and how much abundance is given to us without noticing it. We take it for granted. And by doing so, we just live our lives and we feel good and we feel maybe blessed. But when we add gratitude to our process, the feeling of gratitude is an amplification of joy, is an amplification of thankfulness, is seeing the positive even when there are things that are maybe a little bit negative. So gratitude is really important, and especially if you're struggling with things from your past, or currently with negative feelings and emotions, or with trauma, or you name it. For me personally, gratitude is the beginning, has been the beginning of my transformation in my life. And it was my best friend who said to me, just be grateful for something. And actually, I'm a little bit ashamed to say this, but I didn't grow up with gratitude. So I was like, what am I grateful for? She said, like, aren't you grateful for your food? Aren't you grateful for whatever is given to you, the job that you have or the car that you're driving? And I was like, yeah, but I created that myself. I have bought the food myself. I worked hard for this, so why should I be grateful? And then she said to me, and this is like 5 years ago, she said, like, gratefulness is really like, it's just seeing things in a different way, and don't take things for granted. And I was going through a 25 years of depression, and I had peaks and lows in it. And in that time I was really on the edge of suicidal. And she said to me, like, just give your gratitude to God or the universe. It's a moment in between you and him, you and the universe. And I was like, whatever, you know, like, why should I use gratitude? However, my depression was so severe and I didn't know a way out. And because I wasn't grown up with gratitude, we just lived our lives, and most of the time just in survival modus. And so what I did, and I started reading about this and started watching videos about gratitude. And gratitude really was the beginning that I said, okay, at the end of each day when I'm in bed, I'm gonna name or mention 3 things I'm grateful for. Just 3 things. But I didn't know that my mind was so occupied with negativity that it was actually quite hard to focus on the positive. So for every little thing I was grateful for, I was like, I'm grateful for the fact that the sun shined today. And then I was like, yeah, but this and that, and this happened, and that happened, and my mind went all different directions to find the negative. All different ways to say that that day was shit. However, I was persistent, and I was like, okay, it's okay. It was all negative, but at least 2 more things that I was grateful for. And I'm like, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. And every time I tried, my mind and my ego wanted to stay negative. As if I actually was addicted to my negative thinking. I was addicted to the way of like victimizing myself in every situation. And so what I did is like I started naming these 3 things, and in the beginning it was a fight against my inner demons, a fight like I'm gonna win this battle, I'm just gonna mention my gratitude. And even when I don't completely feel my gratitude, at least I'm gonna name them. So I kept doing that every single day. And eventually I made it towards, because I couldn't sleep very well, my mind was so occupied with all these things and all negative things and all the shit of the day, or all the things I should have done differently, that I'm not good enough, and you name it. And by the moment that I started, like I couldn't sleep, I was like, okay, I'm gonna name all the things I'm grateful for until the moment I fall asleep. So that's what I did. It's like every little thing that I could even think of that I was grateful for just before I would go to bed. So I mentioned, for instance, the food on my plate. I'm grateful for the food on my plate. I'm actually grateful for the bees who pollinated the vegetables that are on my plate. I'm grateful for the people who were working on the land. I'm grateful for the people who transported it to the supermarket. I'm grateful for the people who were selling this vegetable in the supermarket. So like there's so many hands involved with just a single plate. So many people and even animals are involved with a single plate of food. And bit by bit I started realizing that how beautiful it is to have a single plate of food. And before I took everything for granted. It was just a plate of food. I bought the vegetables myself and I worked hard for the money. So why should I be grateful? But by doing so, at the end of the day, and especially with a brain which has 25 years of negative thinking, it was quite hard to make new pathways towards the positive. And by doing so every single day, bit by bit, I started feeling more positive. I started seeing things during my day that I was grateful for, just to mention them in the evening before going to bed. So I started paying attention to more things, more details, and this is really the way that eventually, after 3 months from being suicidal and being persistent, of saying my gratitude every single night, to be in a happy place again. Because my energy started focusing on the positive instead of only on the negative. So every time when I was in the dark forest, is what I call it, it's my depression, I was lost. And I know people who are in depression, you are lost, and it's okay to be lost and don't know how to get out. But the more we give attention to the negativity, to the depression, and to the feeling that we don't want to feel, the more we amplify the feeling. And by removing that focus towards the positive, it amplifies the positive. It makes it grow. It's like where energy goes, life grows. And this is actually exactly what happened. So I didn't suppress the negative, I just focused on the positive. And it brought me so much. Like, this is my daily practice still, every day. I'm saying my gratitude to everything that has been given to me. And even though I worked hard for it, it's still, I received it. And so sometimes if there is a feeling of difficulty to be grateful because you're sad, maybe you're even mourning, like you're in grief, like these are the hardest times. But there is still always a thing you can be grateful for in a day. And when I was depressed, I didn't see that at all. I was just working, focusing on my work, and let my career grow. That worked, but I was severely unhappy. So really, like, the gratitude brought like light and air in my day. And from being 95% of my day negative, it bit by bit transformed me to become 85, 95, or sometimes even 99% of my day towards positive. So I can only recommend to each and every one, like, even if you're in a good place, just mention your gratitude, because everything that you have is given, even though you worked hard for it, but it's still, you received it in a certain way. And so how you can use it also is in a process of letting go. And this is a really important one, actually, because when we want to let go, most of the time we don't want to have that feeling. So what we do is like trying to suppress it. But when we can accept what is there, what we actually dislike or don't like so much, is if we accept it and give gratitude for it so we can move on, it's actually like even the traumas that I experienced and the childhood that I had and the father that I grew up with, you can think like the more blame goes that way, the more the blame is inside. So when I started to have gratitude, to let go of that feeling, I was like, I'm grateful for this experience, because due to it, I'm now here where I am. Because of it, I started loving myself more and more. Because of it, well, and you can go on and on. It's a difficult process to let go with gratitude, but it's a very important step to do so. If you want to let go, the first step is accept, forgive, and then have gratitude. This is the release of things that we're holding back. And then the other one is to use it in manifestation. So the law of attraction works that you believe what it is that you want to receive. So even if it's in the future, if you think like a beautiful house where you live in, so how do you feel living in it? And that feeling of gratitude for living in that future house is the law of attraction. If you can be in that feeling of gratitude of something that isn't there, but you have the trust that it will be given to you, because that's also part of the law of attraction, is the gratitude that makes the manifestation true. It's gratitude, because gratitude is a form of trust, especially if you want to manifest something. So now the new moon is coming up tomorrow. I can really recommend to set intentions and to write them down from a place of gratitude. So for instance, if you want to have that amazing job, write down, I'm so grateful that I have this amazing job with beautiful colleagues and an income that I can only dream of. I'm so grateful for the joy that I experience in this job, the freedom that I have in this job. I'm so grateful for, and when you do so, like you can feel already, it's bringing positivity in your field. So when you do that, and especially when you write down, because you can read it every single day, to read your gratitude and read what it is that you want to manifest. Because by doing so, you start to not only imagine it, but also believe it and envision it and embody it. And that's where the power of the manifestation lays. So altogether, gratitude is a huge tool for happiness, for letting go, and for manifestation. So when would you start? Or if you have started, let me know. Please comment it below and like and share if you agree. And depending on what platform you're on, follow me on Instagram and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Yes. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. With love. Ciao.